Hello again, I'm back. I wanted to do just another short little video here since I was doing the, you know, work versus jobs. I want to talk about freedom versus sovereignty, okay? Because at our rallies, people are chanting freedom, shouting freedom, and we really need to define what freedom is, okay? Real freedom, to be free. There's an element of responsibility, of maturity that needs to go with it. Because what is freedom if we're just going to, I'm free to break stuff. I'm free to cause trouble. I'm free to be violent. So, freedom, the kind of freedom that we're fighting for, I feel really needs to be better defined. Okay? Because, we, in some ways, the government is attacking our freedoms. And in another way, the government is just limiting our involvement in the slave system. It's almost asking us to retract our bondage to the system or fight to remain part of the system. So that's a really important distinction. Because, to me, our systems, our institutions are broken. And if we're going to fight to to have the freedom to participate in these broken systems, we're not fighting for our freedom. We're fighting to remain enslaved to the system. Like forcing vaccinations, adults or children. Well, our schools are not are propaganda machines. They're not really educating. They're not offering life skills to children. They're teaching children how to be a number, really, in the system. How to, fill in a hole in the in that hamster wheel. And sovereignty. That to me is a better word for freedom. That requires a fight as well. But a different kind of fight, That one is a struggle that it's a more internal. How do we arrive to there? How do we do this in a way to remain happy? Because, no man is an island. And in so many ways, that's why I gave up my sovereignty, I feel. I'm 44 years old. And I've been free, But have I been responsible with my freedom? I'm definitely not sovereign. I bought a house and I have payments to make, and so now I have a commitment that I need to somehow figure out how to arrive to. And that whole concept of ownership, of owning land, of owning property, really, and this is how the natives saw it, the land owns us. Okay? So even buying land and starting a commune, that land, if we're going to claim ownership, then a being, an institution, a system, a government can claim ownership over that yet. And yeah, the reason why I went this way is because I really started to feel the challenge and the struggle, and of just constantly being on the move, of constantly having someone tell you what you can and can't do, or basically more like it's time to go. That I never enjoyed that part, and so that's why I feel like I ended up getting property, leased land on the reserve for years. And there I had a degree of sovereignty because my bills were really low. I barely needed to work to live. However, in many ways I wasn't really living because I was isolating myself. And this video has gone in a direction that I didn't really plan on it going this way, but kind of feel like it's somewhat important to talk about. What can we do? Where can we go? There's this battle going on right now in Kingston, Ontario for freedom. And for Jack's Sports Bar, who refused to require a vaccine pass for you to dine in. I know someone in Kingston with a farm and land and starting a community. And I'm kind of considering, selling my house and going there, or to another community that I've been invited to that would like to get started. And I feel like, I don't feel like we could ever break free of being dependent on something. We should depend on ourselves. We should depend on the universe or nature or God or whatever word you have. And that's the extent of where we should really depend. Because, I would like to say that we should even be able to depend on each other, and to a certain point. But as well, depending on each other is, to me, falls under that umbrella of depending on the universe. And yeah, so I don't really have the answer here. I just, when I hear people say freedom, I just feel like that word lacks something. Like freedom, that word by itself does not fully encompass what this is all about. So, I don't know. Maybe you guys can comment below on what your guys' thoughts are on this. Because, I want it to be free. And I know that to be free, there's a certain amount of responsibility. Because I was free to buy this house. I'm free to live here. As long as I'm responsible to honor the commitments I made to maintain the freedom of that decision. Through the astrological lens of things, or even tarot, the devil card, astrology, Saturn, actually, the 12th house, Pisces, Saturn just seems to be the keeper. It doesn't make sense in a way. How is Saturn the keeper, yet this is a Pisces thing? Maybe I shouldn't have brought that aspect into things, but, the devil card is represented by Saturn. And, there must be a connection that I'm just not quite seeing. Saturn is in my 12th house, so see, the 12th house, when I first took astrology, it was trying to say the 12th house represented prison. And I struggled with that. How can the 12th house be prison? There has to be more to it. And so I understood it by looking at the opposing sign, which was Virgo, which is about selfless service. So if Virgo is about selfless service, I would have to say that Pisces would be about how we serve ourselves. And how we serve ourselves is the self-created prison. For example, I bought this house. I bought this house to have a foundation, to have shelter, to have a little bit of structure. However, that came with a contract, that came with a mortgage, that came with commitment and what's the word I'm thinking of? Responsibility. Some responsibilities. Yeah, so the prison that I made for myself is the honoring of the responsibilities to maintain that. So just as the 12th house would represent prison, I would also have to say that the 12th house represents freedom. And that almost makes sense as it follows the sign of Aquarius, which is about the rebel, about revolt, about evolution. So, yeah, you know, Saturn, maybe this is how Saturn kind of falls into it, because Saturn is connected to the 11th house and the 12th house follows the 11th house. So, you know, I don't know. I would say that Saturn is both the action, because Aquarius, the part of Saturn that is still connected to the Aquarius energies is that what was I just about to say before that little brain fart? That Saturn is the liberator and the guard. As Saturn creates the discipline for you to break the chains, or is the obstacle that keeps you tied in. And they're both, I believe, just the opposite to one another. And the only thing that really separates the two is perspective. But anyhow, yeah. Freedom. Freedom and sovereignty. We have the freedom to fight for sovereignty, or we have the freedom to be dependent on the institutions that we decide to subscribe to. So, we are always free. Freedom is choice in a way. And they may limit our choices, but we still are free to choose. It's a catch-22. That's for sure. Anyhow, this video has gone on for 20 minutes now, so I feel like I should stop it. But yeah, I'm interested in hearing what you guys think. And what we can do. What choices do we have in the end? Alright, so that's it for now. I'll see you guys later. Alright, bye.